Hey guys,
Good
Jim
morning.
Downs and Mark Creel with Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and this is a great day. We're past that halfway mark. We're going downhill, and I can almost smell the barn. We uh, we got we got the timing chain in, and we were all set up to do some other stuff. So want to get into that right away, and because the final pieces sometimes you hear the last 10% of a job takes 30% of the work because you got to get everything hooked up right and you got to test it out and all that stuff. So we're at that point now. We're past the project and now we're into the finals. Um, I wanted to let you know where we're at right now. Well, I say we. I guess that's the mouse in my pocket because Mark's been doing all the work. I've been handing him tools and stuff like that, but there's only enough room under there for one guy, and the best idea is to send the best worker down there. So that's why Mark's been tapped to do that. And I wanted Mark to tell you where we are right now and some other things. So Mark, take it away.
Absolutely. If you choose to leave your radiator in the coach, that is not a problem, but you have limited room to work
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
We've had one mishap here. The old gear did not want to give up after being on after all those
That's one way to
years.
put it.
Yeah, well, it didn't want to leave. It said it had a happy home and it done its job.
One of the things that we fight the most, just like you're going to talk about these threads, is age. Somebody said, well, it just sat there. What made it go bad? That question, it can go bad because it's old. It wants to.
That's where we leave the term repair and we go to the term or definition of restoration. We're actually restoring an antique. And we had one mishap by not having the proper tool to get that lower gear off.
Well, we had the radiator out of the way.
If we had the radiator out of the way, it would have been much more accessible.
But that's what we wanted to try to do here, and you guys understand is when you need to get your timing chain changed. Not that you're playing with it. You need to get the sucker out, in and out. That's the things that we're trying to show you right now. We did not pull out the radiator, okay? And because of that, he can tell you what happened.
And of course, we are doing this on the ground. We're on the ground like most people would have to if they were in the backyard or the garage. But what we had, we used a puller that was much too small, and it got into the threads on the crankshaft. This is not normally a situation that you would get into, but we did, and I just wanted to cover the couple of the safeguards that you would need to follow, so you would not damage your crankshaft or the bolt putting it in.
Or just because it's old.
Yeah, well,
you do this stuff. The things that he's getting ready to show you, just because the bolt's old and it's had grease and dirt and it's been in a really bad environment for 50 years.
We wanted to cover the proper way to care for and clean these old bolts if you're going to reuse all of them. And of course, many of these bolts are inaccessible.
Yeah. I mean, we did. So we did. We ran them through a cleaner.
Through the parts washer and washed them and then blew them off.
This is the washer that goes with that.
Massive.
Big old washer. Real important to keep that. That's how important this bolt is that he's getting ready to refinish for you.
And what we're going to do, of course, I've already checked to make sure that the bolt will start. It will go in at least 3 threads by hand, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to wire brush this bolt. We're going to put Antiseize on it and run it in a little bit and bring it out and make sure that she will go in completely to do this job without damage.
So what do you use to do that?
Well, we have a little shop grinder over here.
We're going to shop grinder. Everybody has a grinder, right? And a lot of people have mine is a Baldor. It's got a little stamp Baldor. Makes you feel good that it's got a name. Could be Fujuki.
Let's go that way.
Let's go see the Baldor. Come on. Now his Baldor is a little different than anybody else's Baldor. Gentlemen, that is a grinder. I mean, three phase.
Of course, we have the grinding rock on one side and a fairly experienced, worn-out wire brush on the other. And for safety's sake, always have your safety glasses.
This sounds a little silly and just normal, but on an old bolt like this is really important to do this stuff. Even the head.
Well, if you're going to clean it, go ahead and clean it.
Make it pretty.
You can see what a good job that does on the threads. And of course, you don't need a monster like this. You can do this on a small wire brush grinder, but always be careful. And I would suggest wearing a leather glove instead of these latex. But I've been doing this a couple of years, so I feel confident doing this way.
Cool.
But let's move along.
All right, good deal. Well, go back up front here.
Oh. Okay. If you're going to use Antiseize, normally you would buy this in a small tube, but for shop purposes, we have the rather large cans. I would call that a lifetime supply.
Yeah. Pull it up here a little bit.
Yep, yeah. Yep. Just coat your threads top to bottom, and you're ready to go.
Put it in there, start working it in a little bit, back and forth, be sure it's nice and smooth.
What the Antiseize does, it reduces the friction on the threads, and it's here to prevent gall. And if you've ever galled a bolt in anything, you normally end up breaking it without getting it out.
Yeah.
So then both pieces of the female end and the male end are welded together is by definition. Mm-hmm. So let's not make that mistake.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Ready to go.
What we're going to be doing here today is putting this thing together. I hope you'll be with us. We'll have some other episodes and things to show you the finals, and then I'm going to be heading home here soon. I'm tired now. Guys, thank you. I hope you're learning things out of this, more than just the part numbers, but the confidence that you really can do this. All right, stand by.
And away we go.